Honored to be joined by our client, the president of the Heritage Foundation, great organization, heritage.org, Dr. Kevin Roberts. Kevin, welcome back to the broadcast. Here we are. This was you and I were texted last night. This was a great win. What's so interesting to me, and I'm so thankful, is that it's exactly what we argued. It wasn't getting into the science of this vaccine or not this vaccine. It got into the law and to an issue that has been a huge concern for Heritage really since your founding, and that was the whole separation of powers and states' authority in these kind of matters. So the decision was great, but also the rationale for the decision was great. What was your reaction?
Well, my reaction first and foremost was gratitude to you and Jordan and everyone at ACLJ for representing us. And secondly, as I've told many people, Jay, my reaction was you were spot on. I mean, this is exactly what you predicted, that the merits of a number of cases that focused on separation of powers, on the proper role of government, rather than getting into the weeds of the science, because we know it's too premature in the history of this disease to figure that out, was the right way to go. And so we're just ecstatic here at the Heritage Foundation, not just because we and many others, any employer with over 100 employees, have won these cases. We're ecstatic because it is a line in the sand against this regime that they better not cross again.
You know, Kevin, one thing the court noted here, and it was interesting to me because they actually focused in on this in these cases, this line of cases, is who brought the challenges. And they noted it wasn't just the states. It wasn't just big companies. It was the small businesses, and they actually said, and nonprofit organizations. That basically the entire private employment world together stood up and said no. And for the Heritage Foundation, and as you're president now of the Heritage Foundation, this was a big step, too, to stand up for your employees, because this was the first time Heritage had ever been a petitioner in federal court.
Well, that's exactly right. It's like I told our board several weeks ago, Jordan, and I told my colleagues, is the very first hour I was on post here on December 1st, I will never, the Heritage Foundation will never ask for your private health data. We are never going to submit to an unconstitutional government order that requires that. We were very confident, given your representation, we were going to win this case. But let me be clear. When it comes to putting government back in the box, it is a series of battles. We have won one battle, right, but we've not won the political and policy war. And just know, the Heritage Foundation, all of us here, stand at the ready for the next battle, not just for us and that very special relationship that I have with my colleagues here as their employer, but for all Americans. And I don't even care if they're left of center and disagree with us. We want to protect their rights from an overreaching government this day and every day.
You know, it was interesting in this case because, Kevin, when you and I first talked way back in beginning of December, seems like a lifetime ago. It was only 6 weeks. There's been so much activity in this thing we went through the timeline of this. When you go through the timeline, Kevin, just you put this down in our history books. You get into you become the president of Heritage. I mean, it was announced before, but you didn't become effective until January 1st. We filed, you were already involved, obviously, on November 29th, before you were officially the president, but you were obviously the incoming president. We filed another motion on December 7th. On the 21st, on the 17th, the court ruled against us at the Sixth Circuit. On the 18th, we filed an emergency application with the Supreme Court of the United States. On the 20th, the case is docketed. On the 21st, the Supreme Court announced oral arguments for January 7th. On the 23rd, 2 days before Christmas, the court issued an order that we had to reply by January 3rd, right through New Year's. We filed on January 3rd. The case was argued on January 7th, decided on January 13th, and the application for stay is granted. And I might add, this is the first time Heritage has ever been in a lawsuit where you've been a plaintiff.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah,
I mean, this is sort of a view into the future. I'll add one little tidbit there that I think everyone will appreciate, a personal story. My family and I moved from Texas starting last Saturday. We arrived in Northern Virginia at our new home on Wednesday. And so one of my senior management colleagues here at Heritage texted me last night and said, Roberts, you're 24 hours in Northern Virginia. We won our first Supreme Court case. What are you going to do next? And my response, Jay, very heartfelt, was, I'll just call Jay and Jordan and see what ideas they have.
Yeah, there you go. No, I appreciate that. Listen, I also want to thank your staff and your team. I've worked with your team I go back with Paul Larkin and John Malcolm. I think I don't want to I'll date. I don't care. I'm 65. I think I've been working with these guys since we were in our late 20s. And you've got others there, too, that we worked with, and they did a great job. And I know Than Bennett, our Director of Government Affairs, enjoys working with your team as well. And obviously, we're going to continue that effort. This was a big, big win. Jordan?
Yeah, that's right. I think that this shows that when your conservative movement groups come together, and you again, the Supreme Court noted it. They noted that who were the plaintiffs here. It was important to the court to note who actually was challenging this mandate. That it wasn't just states, it wasn't just big companies, it was small businesses, it was nonprofit organizations. They came together in this unity. And as you said, Kevin, I mean, this is one battle. It was a bad week for the Biden team, but they are going to consistently try and do what they can at federal power grabs. We know that from this administration, and the left is just getting more radical when it comes to that.
Well, that's right. And what I would say, two things real quick, Jordan. The first is for just the regular listener out there, we know that the Heritage Foundation is seen by so many people in America as being at the vanguard of America, the vanguard of conservatism. And we're never going to miss an opportunity to take the lead so that individuals can do what they do, and that spread the word through all of their different networks, through their comments on the news and so on. That's, y'all know better than anybody. The justices pay attention to that kind of thing, as you pointed out. The second and last thing is never doubt that when you are faced with a decision, go on offense. Heritage Foundation is an offense every day. We've won this with your help. We're so grateful, most of all, for your work and really happy for private employers that we've won. But there are more battles ahead. Keep the pedal to the metal. We've got a country to take back.
I just want to again thank you. It's been an honor, Kevin, representing you and representing the Heritage Foundation. I look forward to our continuing relationship. Congratulations on your appointment. Congratulations on your move. We're supposed to get a snowstorm here this weekend that I think is heading right your way. So you're from Texas. You're not used to a lot of snow. Get ready. You're in the Mid-Atlantic. You're going to see some. But this storm, at least this storm, has now passed. And Kevin, I said this. I want to get your comment on this. I said the good thing about this, besides that it was the right statutory interpretation, constitutional principles, it also depoliticized the issue of vaccines and therapeutics. It depoliticized that. And I think wherever you are on the spectrum, it is of yes, no, maybe. It depoliticizing it is a good thing for the American people.
Well, it is. And you would appreciate, in fact, I was going to relay this to you anyway, Jay, that a physician friend who's a friend of Heritage told me last week, and he said, Kevin, I was a little circumspect about Heritage filing suit on this. And then I read the merits of the case and realized y'all aren't getting into the science. Y'all aren't getting into the medicine. You are doing what we would expect Heritage Foundation to do. And use the word that you did, Jay. You're depoliticizing something that must be. That is true north for Heritage and for America. If all of us across the political spectrum could spend more time doing that, making sound policy decisions, I think we would all be a lot more fulfilled in our everyday lives as Americans.
Yeah, I think this for history is going to show that this actually decision and the position we advocated, which was not to get into the science and not to attack the science, but to go, because obviously I've been vaccinated, I've said it a zillion times. The fact of the matter is, by going to the constitutional principles and the statutory principles, we serve the interest of the Constitution, of the statute. And I do think depoliticizing this is good for the American people, and in the long term will show to be a positive benefit. Kevin, congratulations. Thrilled to have you on. Look forward to having you on again. Next case. All right, my friend?
Sounds good. Thanks, my friend.
All
Y'all
right.
take care.